This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm Silvia Saige, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now. Hey, hey, hey! Welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am your host, Silvia Saige. Today we are still missing my producer, Alexander. My apologies for that. He is very far away and would have had to catch a train up here. He didn't have to be up here today, so I told him go ahead and stay back for a little bit longer. But I do have in studio with me a very good friend of mine who I've known for several years. I attribute a big part of my porn career to this individual, Mr. Shawn Alff.
Hello. I'm really curious as to what part of your career you attribute to me, but we can get to that later.
I will tell you. But before, let me tell the people who you are. So Shawn got his start in the adult industry as a sex and lover writer in Tampa. After writing for magazines like Hustler, AVN, and XBiz, he began working on the production side of the industry with Jackie St. James. He has since worked on thousands of screens as a screenwriter, publicist, photographer, videographer, director, and PA. And for his efforts, he has won 2 AVN awards for screenwriting. Last month, Valessa.com launched a docuseries featuring Shawn's journey from working behind the scenes to performing in front of the camera. Beyond his work in adult, he also moonlights as a nude art model, which I love, by the way. Recently, his body of work was featured in Model Society. Welcome to the show, Shawn.
I love having that cheers. I just never get that. It's so nice. I want that in my regular life.
I can get that for you. Just a little, soundtrack to follow you around.
I always wonder what people's really useless superpower would be, and mine would be just having like a laugh track or a cheer track, whatever you need in that moment.
Just really cheer you up throughout the day.
Or like theme music whenever you enter a room. Just useless superpower, but that would make me happy.
I will tell you how I think you have helped my career.
Okay.
Because I feel like with meeting you, and you work for Jackie St. James a lot, and I used to work for Jackie all the time, and I feel like that was attributed in big part to you because you have a definite say in who works for Jackie because she really values your opinion. And so if you say that you trust someone and you like someone, then you work with that person more. So I feel like you definitely did that for me. And you, sir, introduced me to the man who wait, is that correct? Is that the same? No, it's not the same. I was thinking it was a different person. You did introduce me to that writer who did a story about the both of us.
Oh yes,
yeah,
sure.
but
I
was also thinking that was somebody different in my brain, which led me to the Hulu thing. But that was totally separate. You did introduce me to that person, so you didn't do anything for my career. I'm just kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. No, with Jackie, I feel like you definitely opened. In 2018, I was their most shot female performer.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, so
because you were so reliable.
Well,
and that's
thank
what
you.
we love about
Yeah, I will show up.
Yes.
That's one thing I will do, and on time. So
you show up.
Yeah.
I remember thinking of this is like you show up on time, you show up prepared, and you show up as one of the best dressed performers in the industry. Your hair is always done. Everything is always done.
Yeah.
We never have to worry if you're cast that day. I think my directorial debut, you were one of the leads in it too.
I was actually, and it's What We Do for Money.
Yep, What We Do for Money.
It is one of I don't buy a lot of my own DVDs for selling purposes, but that is one I bought a lot of. Yeah,
nice.
I own a lot of those. So if anyone wants a signed DVD of me,
starring
in Shawn's
directorial.
That's a really hard word to say. Directorial debut.
Yeah.
Wow. I have not even been drinking. That was really tough. No, it was a great movie. I loved it. And we used my eyes as the cover.
We did.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember if if Al and I thought of that beforehand, but Al is Mad Creativity, who shoots most of
all
Sylvia's,
of my photos, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did introduce you to him.
Yes, you definitely
so there you
did
go.
that. Yeah.
I did help. See,
you helped dramatically.
I'm
You
behind
really
the
did.
scenes.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't tell people that I influenced Jackie's opinion, because I don't want people liking me for that. I inhabit this niche in the industry where people think I have no power or control, and I want to keep it that way, because I don't want to have to guess. What's great about like
who's being nice
a PA
to you
on set is I really know who is just a genuinely good person, because nobody has a reason to be nice to me, or else they don't think.
What you don't realize when you're a PA is that people really want to sleep with you. I remember when you first started PAing, and I was like, who is this fucking sexy PA we have over here? And I just remember, like, I was very kind of like rapey with you. Like, I would tell you like, take your shirt off. I mean, I would like try and get you naked at like all cost. And I mean, I eventually I did conquer. I conquered. But I will just say, I think you have a hard time believing that women are into you, or at least you did. I feel like you've also found your own sexuality working in porn.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of forces you to expand and explore a lot of stuff. And what I always think about porn is anybody can get in, and not everybody is going to be a star.
Yeah.
You can make a living, you can find your niche. But and also, I think a big problem is everybody tries to be other people in porn, but you need to find your thing and kind of explore that. And porn has definitely helped me kind of explore my niches. What I've found, this is kind of weird, I don't even know if it's sexual, but I appreciate when people make fun of me, because it makes me think that they're my friend.
Interesting.
And I think it's like growing up with my brother, we just gave each other shit all the time.
Yeah.
And if you didn't talk shit about each other, then I was like, well, do they even like me? But also, it's like I inhabit this weird niche in the industry where, like, online people will publicly like make jokes about me.
Well, right. Yeah. But you kind of bring that on yourself.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because you do a lot of TikToks that are very much like kind of make you the cuck, or make you like, you know, the sad boy and the like. Yeah.
Like everybody's having sex but me, which, you know, today was an orgy and
he just came from a 6-person orgy. So thank you for making it on time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for cleaning up all that cum in just enough time to get here. Are you ever cleaning cum? You're not actually like cleaning cum. You are?
I'm cleaning cum. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I touch cum all the time.
Well, I mean,
though what's interesting is
I feel like mainly it's on people, right? The cum usually lands on people.
Yeah, but it always hits the floor. Or it's always on the couches.
It's very slippery. You can't just leave it on the floor. People will fall.
Also, people will wipe it off with baby wipes and then leave it on the floor, and then I have to grab those baby wipes.
Yeah. True. I do that. I'm a wiper and a thrower of the baby wipes. And then I'm like, that's someone else's problem now, because there's never a trash handy.
Right. Well, we have a bag of trash that we run in sometimes, but it's because we're always shooting in weird locations.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you don't just want to haul like a huge trash can, so it's usually a plastic bag.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Yeah. Do you at least put gloves on for it?
So this is
just running around in people's cum all day?
The first day I worked for Jackie, I put on gloves, and she's like, oh, he's never going to make it. But then after that, I was like, I think it kind of becomes like the nurse mentality. If you've ever been around nurses, they're just around so much sickness, and so not that
we are around so much sickness. Yes, we are.
It really doesn't matter. Like, unless I have like an open wound.
Right.
Also,
I'm the one covered in the cum. So like, yeah, it really doesn't matter. Like, it's just a sticky substance that you would just rather rinse off. That's all.
Yeah. And with these people, I mean, performing more now, like, I'm having sex with these people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're having sex with them while they're having sex with other people. So like,
yeah,
you just, you know.
So you're working mainly for Valessa, or you're working for everybody shooting as a performer?
Oh, performer only for Valessa right now. So yeah, they, the whole
Wait. I want to tell them what Valessa is, by the way. So yes. Valessa is a new site, newer. I guess it's been out for 1.5 years or 2 years now, maybe. I don't even know. It's a couple years.
Yeah, a couple years.
New since COVID-ish. Okay, but this main purpose of this site, which I love, is that it is real people who really want to be having sex. Like when you work for them, they will ask you, like, who do you want to have sex with? Like, who are your top 5 people that you really want to have sex with? And you'll give them those people. And then they will pick from that list, but you won't know which one it is. So when you see them and they see you, it's kind of like like we didn't know this was about to happen, but obviously we want to have sex with each other. So it's a hot scene, and it is not scripted. There are no setups to the scene. There is no lead in. I was told I can walk into the room naked or with lingerie on, fully clothed, however I wanted to walk into the room to greet this person. And in porn sex, there is a lot of stopping and starting, and there is a lot of positioning in 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there. In Valessa, it is no opening up to camera. It is just two people having sex with the person they want to have sex with. And it is a mind-blowing concept for pornography and is fabulous for the people performing in it. So it's great. You should take a look at it because it's real sex. So go on.
I should also add that the whole concept behind the studio is they want to be more for the female audience. Obviously, there are guys watching it, but I think such a big thing with porn for women watching is you're like, does the woman really want to be there?
Yeah.
And with Valessa, you see the behind the scenes moment of them interacting beforehand and talking. You see that they do want to be there, and this is somebody they want to have sex with, and they are enjoying it. So I think by showing all of the moments, it feels more real, and you don't feel like they're hiding anything. And I think it makes it easier to enjoy when you know both the performers want to be there. But so I was originally approached about this project, which was they wanted to follow around a non-porn performer getting into porn.
Love.
And I remember I sent this email back, and I'm like, I am the worst person for this. I have like the most average dick in the world. I have like high anxiety. Like also I don't have the biggest sex drive. I would probably come 2 times a week, maybe 3.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling frisky. It's just,
but that's it. They want real people,
right?
Though.
Right. So, and the group, it was a few of them. They replied back, it's like, "You're perfect. This is why."
Yeah.
Because they don't want somebody that's going to come in and just.
And can I just also say that women don't want the oversized penises either. Like, there are some penises in porn that it's just like, okay, women want average also, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah, it's not something I'm at all worried about. A side note, like, Nathan Bronson is one of the most requested guys in porn.
Also average dick.
Yeah, very average dick.
And he's always on my list of people to fuck.
Right. And he has no hang-ups about it. What's funny is there's guys with huge dicks who constantly have to talk about their huge dick. Like, that's their entire personality.
Right.
Anyway, so the whole thing is they wanted to capture my nervousness. Like, I don't even think they care about the sex. They really... Like, all of my scenes start with me cleaning my entire house and like lighting candles and like cleaning my bathroom. And
are you worried about women thinking you're dirty before you fuck them?
This is what it is that one, smell and cleanliness is very important to me.
Same. Thank you. Yeah.
These are things I can control. I can control my hygiene. I can control those things. I can't necessarily control everything else. So I think I try to do everything within my power to make it a good scene. I think it's also part of my ritual in the sense of like it keeps me from just fidgeting and waiting, and it gives me something to do, and it gives me something to be proactive as opposed to just sitting there and being like sitting with
waiting for this person to show up.
Yeah, because one of the things with Valessa is they love that tension with Valessa House. They keep you separated.
Yeah.
So it builds this weird tension. So the first time you see the person is on screen. So the first time I'm seeing my scene partner for that day is on camera. And what's also weird is I'm so used to talking to Jackie and Al who shoot it. But when they're shooting it, they won't talk to me. And so I'm just sitting there just like, shaving my pubes or whatever. I'm just like, hey. Well, and I'm like constantly trying to cut the tension by making jokes. And they're like, you don't have to talk right now. I'm like, okay, well, you just. So.
But your awkwardness is exactly what they want. You're right. Like they want all of that. And I love it.
It is kind of an ego death in a way, too, because the line is called zero to hero. Like you're a loser. Well, first of all, like sleeping with a lot of women for money doesn't make you a hero or a winner. Because I know a lot of guys in porn who have slept with a lot of women who I would not consider heroes. But I get the gimmick. It's more the SEO factor.
Yeah,
I wanted to
yeah.
call it.
I think they're heroes to other men.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's what we're. Yeah.
But I wanted to call it 6 inches from stardom. But apparently that's not.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But yeah, and so what's hard about it though is that the owners, they want me to struggle. Like
Right.
they don't want me to kill the scene. They don't want me to come. They're just like dicks ablaze and me. Like, let's do this thing. And so it's like this war with me. I'm like, no, I'm gonna do a good scene. So
have
like
you had dick problems on screen?
Well, I would just say I have a dick.
No, but I mean, like, when I say dick problems, I mean that in like, as another performer, we would say like if they can't get their dick up, they have dick problems.
Right. So
it's not like.
Yeah. The whole thing about it is that what kills boners for me is cortisol, which is anxiety, which is nerves, and it completely it constricts your veins.
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole issue is you have to relax. You
right.
have to learn how to relax.
Right. That's for anal too, by the way, just so you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Just saying. Just when you're ready.
Yeah.
Just relax. Breathe.
Well, that's a whole other track, but I think as a guy, you shouldn't be able to fuck a woman's ass unless you've had something in your ass. But that's
thank you. I agree with that statement, by the way.
So
and I'll put it in your ass if you want.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes. It needs to be an equal share system. Well, I know you're recently into anal. You got really.
I've always been into anal.
What? I thought you weren't for a while.
No, day one I checked yes to the anal box. I was doing anal before I was a porn actress.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I actually I always tell people like I sometimes will just put a butt plug in to have vaginal sex because I like the extra stimulation.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, I like it. Big fan.
Big
fan.
Big fan.
Yeah.
But back to these boner issues.
Yeah. Tell the people about your dick problems, please. Tell the world. We have such a broad audience. They all want to hear.
It's weird because it's such a superstition, and as you'll probably know, guys in the industry who all have their rituals,
right?
And they'll all have like, I take this herb and I don't eat, or like my roommate Robbie, he has to eat before a scene.
Yeah,
other guys won't eat, and they all have these things, and it's weirdly for me like sometimes I'll be super nervous, have a great scene. Sometimes I won't be that nervous at all, and then right before a scene, I'll get this shot of like anxiety just flowing through me, and then I need a second, and I'll go to my room. Get my dick working and then come back. So I haven't failed the scene, but I have like my dick's not hard. I need to take a second.
Yeah. And what's nice about Valessa is there's no time cap.
Yeah.
So a lot of porn you like have to be fucking for. They'll say I need 45 minutes of sex or you know whatever it is. Like so you're on like a time clock and you're just like counting down the minutes. I mean, I'm counting down the minutes.
Well, depending on who you're working
depending
with.
on who you're working with. But so it's not that. It's like you can just go as long as you want. The sex is what is sex is if it's 5 minutes, if it's 12 minutes, if it's 30 minutes, it doesn't really matter. And it's heaven sent. I love working for Valessa.
Yeah, we all love working for Valessa. It is, if you want to see happy performers, watch
Valessa.
Because I guarantee you, everybody in Valessa is having fun being there, and they all want to be there. And
I recently had to cancel a scene because I was dealing with the show knows I've had some issues with my uterus with some polyps, and so I had to cancel a scene with them, and I was like devastated. And I was like, oh, I just don't want to cancel with them, but you guys would have not wanted that. There's no way
just
that was going to be hot.
And just like, oh, this is painful.
Yeah. Also, it was just like a sea of blood. It was like a nonstop, like no sponge.
Just like The Shining when the blood comes out of the elevators. And
no sponge is stopping that. Like when I went to the emergency room and I like checked in, the lady's like, you can have a seat right there. And I was like, well, first I need to use the bathroom. And then I went to the bathroom and seen that I had not only bled through like my giant thick like grandma pad that I had on, but my underwear and my pants. And she was like, you can have a seat. And I was like, you don't want me to sit in your chair. I was like, I have bled through everything here.
Just gonna create a puddle.
And I was like, I live 10 minutes away. And she was like, oh, okay, let's get you into a room. And I was like, yeah, let's get me into a room. I was like, I am for sure bleeding out, like right now. I thought for sure I was dying. Like that was like, there's no other reason. Like I've never seen that much blood in my whole life.
Did you actually think you were gonna die? Like, did you?
I was actually scared. I actually was like in tears at the emergency room because I was like, something is legitimately wrong. Like I didn't know if maybe I had like, and I hadn't even had a lot of sex, but I was like, maybe I'm pregnant and maybe this is a miscarriage. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Like that with the amount of blood was terrifying. Yeah, it was crazy.
Should have brought like a puppy pad to put on this.
With me to the hospital. Don't worry about me. I've just got my puppy pads over here. I'll be totally fine.
But no, I always wonder about if you ever done psychedelics. Like sometimes you feel like you're dying, but what's great about it is it's this rehearsal for death in the sense of like, so you know the thoughts that are going to come to you when you're about to die. So in a way, it makes you prepare. Like, okay, these are the things that I need to work on, and these are the things that I need to.
You've done way more psychedelics than me, apparently. I've just done mushrooms, and I don't feel like I'm going to die on mushroom.
But okay, with this instance, if you actually felt like you're going to die, were you going through and like thinking, okay, here's who I need to call. This is what I.
And I actually have had this thought a lot lately because I've recently come into a lot more money, and now I'm constantly thinking like, because I'm about to get my nose done, and I think, well, what if I die under the knife and my money just goes to the state? Like, so I have financial advisors, and I'm like, we need to get a will in place before I go under for surgery, because like my biggest fear is me dying and all of this money going to the state instead of my family.
Right.
So I definitely think about that now, and I'm like, let's get my financial things in order, like.
Or maybe you could write something in there for somebody who's really helped you.
I will write you in. I'll write you into the will, bro.
Yeah.
I do have to pick somebody though. Like you have to pick a person who's going to do all of your. Yeah. You have to pick a person, and I don't really have a person. And like my brother is the person I picked, but he's older than me, you know, and it's like. He's not great with money.
This is not somebody you want with this power.
Yeah. And even my family, because I was like calling my mom and my dad and my aunt, who is like she's always been like a mom to me. So I call her for a lot of like financial advice because she's very good with money. And, I said like, I'm like, who do I leave this to? And I was like, Greg is kind of my only option. She was like, and I was like, yeah, I know. Like, we're all like, this is my option. My whole family's like, I don't know if that's such a great idea. I'm like, who else then? Like, you all are going to die. Like, all these older people, you're going to die before me.
You
like,
always do a charity that's really important to you.
I love how everyone is like trying not to give it to my brother. Just anyone but him. We could just.
Or, just parcel it out among people that you like. Just, $5,000 here, $10,000 here.
Yeah.
Make everybody a little bit happy.
Yeah, you're right. I should do that. I will say though, when my grandpa died, he kind of did that. Like his kids got like I don't think he had a lot of money, but his kids got like bigger lumps, and then like us as grandkids, we all got like smaller. I think I got like $5,000 actually. And I just remember when he died, I was like 21, and in $5,000 at 21, it felt like
right. Yeah, you're rich.
I was like Grandpa, like like this is amazing. Thank you so much. What am I gonna buy, a house? I felt rich. But yeah, it was great. But I want to do that to people. And I have said I'm going to leave a lot to my goddaughter, but now I just found out my girlfriend, who has my goddaughter, is pregnant again. Now I don't know if I'm going to be the godmother of that kid or not, but I'm like, now I'm going to split it between the two kids. I don't even know the other one yet,
No, you don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't.
Just give it to your god kid.
Yeah. It's really fucked up, and I probably shouldn't say it on here, but I just think it's hysterical. And it won't be true, obviously, when the baby's born. I don't know. Maybe not. But my girlfriend was telling me, she was like, I just feel like I'm not going to love this baby as much. She goes, I'm sure it'll change when they're born. She was like, but I just feel like I have such a close connection to Naomi. Yeah. And she was like, it's just been her and I for so long. She was like, and now this baby's just going to come
this
in.
New person coming in?
Yeah. She's
I might not even like, you're going to ruin what we had with my other baby.
She's like, I don't even know if I'm going to love it as much. And I was like, I think you do. But I don't know. I'm a second child, and I never felt loved as much as my brother.
Really?
Yeah. My mom had photo albums 1 through 20. My brother was 1 through 18. And then 19 and 20 was me and my brother like scattered in. And then no more photo albums. Like they were just done with photo albums. And I'm like, what the fuck? Also, I was born with 2 blue eyes. And then my eyes are obviously 2 different colors now. This changed somewhere around 2. Not a single person in my family could tell you exactly when it happened. Thank you for paying so much attention to me. And we wonder why now I'm a born actress.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, like, you can blame them for that, but you also, your fans should thank them for that.
Yeah, thank you for all the neglect.
Yeah, without that, you might not want so much attention. You might be doing comedy or porn or podcasts.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing any of those things.
You might be completely satisfied working in, medical.
I might have been. Not now.
So
not now.
I thank them for that.
No, thank you. Thank you for the
it
neglect,
pushed you. It
Mom
really
and
pushed
Dad.
you.
Yeah.
You needed that.
To seek
push.
validation.
They knew exactly
from
how
anyone
to push you.
I actually do blame my mom because she always said my brother was like the smart one, and he was always like really good at things, and he was like
this is
drum
the one
major.
who you don't want to leave.
Yeah. And he was always like so talented, basically. And she would just be like naming off all of my brother's like awesome qualities, and then she'd be like, and that's his sister. Like I was just like a side, like I was just like a add-on piece to her awesome son, and I was like, oh, like it was so shitty, but I was pretty, and she always made sure I knew I was pretty, so I used those looks to get me here.
See, that's the. I don't think it's a terrible way to raise kids. Well, you ruined one. That's awful. But it's like rich kids. Rich kids are always, not always.
Yeah.
Most of the time they're terrible because they're just handed things.
Yeah, it's true.
And if you have to work for it and you have to fight for it, which is why I think with guys they tend to get into comedy more. Yeah. Because they have to find a way to get attention because women,
and to get laid.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't figure that out, there's a really good chance as a guy you're not going to have sex. Like there's so many virgins.
Incels.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're just going to hate women and blah, blah, blah. So you have to figure out something. Some people go to humor. Some people
Those are the people who are never going to get herpes. There's this thin population of the world that will never have herpes. I think it's like by the time you're in your 80s, like 90% of the population will have had some sort of herpes where it's A or B or...
Does chickenpox count because it is a herpes?
Does it?
Yeah,
does it count? Yes, it fucking counts.
Shingles, herpes?
Yeah, it is. It's a virus. It's part of that. It's that part of that herpes virus. I'm just saying, those are the only people who are not going to get it, and those are boring people. Do you really want to not have herpes?
Go through life without an STD? These are like badges of courage. These are like, the military when you have your little ribbons. It should be...
The only one you don't want to get, and I will say this, is syphilis. And I'll tell you why. Because it also never leaves your system, but it also puts you on like a nationwide registry. Do you know that?
About this. No.
I do only know that because I know someone with syphilis. And they put you on a watch list, basically. And they like check in on you and like make you run blood work and stuff all the time because it like lives in your system forever. And it doesn't, it's even better to have AIDS now because you can totally get rid of AIDS. Like AIDS is like a thing of the past, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to have HIV than diabetes. I think
for sure.
You can,
For sure. And you're not going to lose limbs with HIV. You can get HIV so undetectable, like it literally does not test positive any longer. Yeah. That's crazy.
And now, a lot of people don't know about this, but there's thing called PrEP out there, which I'm on, which some people think is crazy as a straight.
Everyone who's having sex should be on it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why they aren't, but it just makes me not worried about. I also grew up, in the AIDS era where it was just looming over us like the atom bomb. Yeah. This
Magic Johnson, 1991. I know it because I researched it for a joke recently. So, yeah.
That year in 1999, I always remember.
1991.
The year Magic Johnson got HIV.
It is. That's the year. And before that, we were just fucking freely. Like, nothing mattered.
Oh, I was not in 1991.
Well, I wasn't fucking
I still had a
freeway.
good 10 years before I'd be fucking.
Wait, you lost your virginity at 20?
Yep.
Wow, late bloomer.
I'm a late bloomer in every aspect of my life, but I also.
But you're doing great now.
Well, yeah, but I also look like a 14-year-old when I was 18.
Yeah.
which is hard.
You have grown into your manhood, though, throughout the years that I've known you, I feel like.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's probably also why you were saying, like, I don't realize people want to fuck me on set. It's because I grew up with this mentality of, like, people just putting me in the cute box. The friend zone.
The friend zone.
I was always the friend guy.
Because you're also nice.
Yeah.
But you were married before, so it's not like you weren't fucking.
But she was the second woman I slept with.
That's fucking mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Why would you marry the second person you had?
Because I loved her.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
But also an insecurity of, like, nobody else,
I'll never find somebody else who will want to fuck me.
Yeah. I'm sure that's part of
And look at you now, Shawn.
Well, that's the whole thing. So I was in that relationship for 10 years before I ever really, and then I got out of that and immediately started working as a doorman at a bar.
That'll get you laid.
House. Right. Oh yeah. I went on a tear.
Yeah.
That's
good for you.
Yeah. Everybody needs to. It's the best way to get over a breakup is to sleep with somebody.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. So obviously now you write and perform. Mm-hmm. Which do you love more? Which do you feel more comfortable in now?
More comfortable.
Because writing is also not easy, especially for porn, because it gets so like the same thing over and over, and you have to hit these certain points, and it's like.
Well, what I got in is with writing. Writing has always been my fallback. The thing was, I tried to get into the film department in my old college, but I wasn't smart enough, and so I ended up in English, and I was like, okay, I'm going to use writing to get into film. And I've always connected with stories. Stories have helped me learn, and my pathway through life has always been what will make for the best story. And even in porn, that's been my journey, is like what will make for the best book one day. So I guess I always identify as a writer, but it's less satisfying because writing will not get you laid the way that performing will get you laid.
That is a very obvious statement.
Also, what's nice though about my writing now is that I pick and choose what I want to work on. I'm only going to work on big stuff that's going to get attention because I'm tired of doing the other stuff. I can make more money sexting guys.
Yeah, that is actually very true.
Than I can writing a script.
Are you going to start an OnlyFans?
Yes. I think Valessa wants me to. I have it. I just haven't uploaded anything.
What's the hold?
They seem to think it's going to be popular, but I'm like, I don't know. We'll see.
What's holding you back?
They just launched the series, and so I think we're still in discussions of what we want on the OnlyFans. So on this series that they're doing with Valessa, you're the only male actor? Well, I did a scene with it was a threesome with Dante and Dante Cole and Haley Reid.
Oh, love both of those people. Yeah, huge fans of both of them. People. Yeah.
Now I'm the only zero. But that isn't to say, like, if it's successful, maybe they'll have other guy. I can only imagine how they would pick another guy, because with me, they knew I was on set, and so they know I'm not creepy, which is funny. The biggest things that Jackie talks to the performers about is they'll say, he's clean and he's not creepy. And like, those aren't the worst characteristics, but it's so funny in porn as a woman, you have to add that as a factor. Like, is he
not
creepy?
creepy?
No, he's not creepy.
Yeah, no, it's true, especially in the porn industry too, though, because I will say, like, I feel like some of these guys get in and I'm just like, okay, no, I don't. There's no way I want to be having sex with this person. And I think in the beginning, of course, in the beginning of almost anyone's porn career, you kind of just say yes to everything. Right. And then now I'm just like, no, I'm not. Yeah. I don't even want to have sex with new performers anymore, like at all. Yeah, like if I haven't. You won't be on Zero
to Hero anytime soon.
Well, I would have sex with you. Yeah, that's different. But I don't even want to have sex with like new people coming into the industry, because I'm like, no, why does this random 22-year-old get to have sex with me just because he's just in porn now because he signed some paperwork? Like, no, I do not agree. And I did that for so long. It's just like mind blowing to me now that I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And some of these guys, the stable of male performers, for the most part, I love all of them, and there's a reason they work all the time. The ones that work all the time, because people like them, people like working with them. They don't have issues. Yes. But then there's a Small
lot
Hands, Nathan Bronson, Quentin James.
Isaiah Maxwell.
Oh, Isaiah Maxwell.
Everybody, anytime you say Isaiah Maxwell, people are like, oh, he's my favorite.
He's so, it's his personality.
Of course.
It's his, I mean, dick aside, I don't judge my performers off of their sex, if I'm being honest.
Right.
I judge the people I like to work with based off their personality. And Isaiah is just such a nice human. He's just so kind.
And I think, so that maybe brings up a point, is that there are guys who get into this industry of like, oh, I want to get laid. I want to shoot. Isaiah was working, I think, for an agent before he started performing. He worked as and so he was seeing everything that was happening. And I think he wasn't in it just to get laid.
But don't you think that's a benefit for him and for you
course.
Of working behind the scenes before you come in? Yeah.
100% it is. 100% it is. But also, guys coming in, and it would benefit so many guys who want to be porn stars if you worked behind the scenes. But nobody wants to pay those dues. Who wants to clean up fucking cum?
Yeah.
You know, who wants to do, which I don't mind doing, because you need to get rid of your ego, man.
That's just in general, though. Just get rid of your ego in general. And that is something I need to subscribe to on a daily basis. Just saying. Just saying.
But it just being on set and seeing and studying the guys who do well, studying the Nathan Robinsons and the Small Hands and how they interact with people and what they do. And
then you also learn the not to do from other performers. Also.
Right. Don't bring a bouquet of roses to set for your female performer.
Who did that? You have to tell me off of here who did that.
Or there's always the guy. I mean, so also as a male performer, you got to really dial in what makes it work for you.
Yeah.
But there are guys who really need to feel like there's this super connection with the performer, and that really puts a lot of women off.
Yes. So there is one performer that I know in specifics I won't work with any longer, and I know a lot of women who won't, and we've all kind of said the same thing, is because when we worked with him, it almost like he would go so deep in his emotional connection that he needed to you that it felt like he wanted to wear your skin. And and I was like, I can't. Like, I don't need to be this close to you as a human. Like, I don't have this with anyone in life, let alone you, random stranger. Yeah. So there's definitely a stepping over point of comfortability. Yeah.
There is too a way of learning how to talk to people, to develop a rapport quickly, to you know it with podcasts, how to connect quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, a connection. You don't need to fall in love.
Right.
And having that separation visible of like, I want to connect with you, I want to have a good scene, but also you really don't have to worry about me sliding in your DMs and like asking you if you want to shoot content or get dinner right after this.
Yeah. But I do want to shoot content with most people. For my OnlyFans. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I imagine if you're shooting with somebody, it's somebody you also want to shoot.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But then there's also the guys that make the classic new male guy mistake of sliding into everybody's DMs.
Yeah.
There's this one guy.
If I have not slept with you and you slide into my DMs, you will never sleep with me. Just saying, don't ever reach out to me for content if we've never met.
Right.
Like,
never.
No.
Don't lead with content. You can be like, hey, I was following you. You seem cool. Whatever it is. But don't be like, hey.
Love to shoot content with you sometime. I bet you would love to fuck me for free. I bet you would love that, wouldn't you?
Right. And to film it so you can show your
Yeah. Bet you would love it. Yeah, it'd be so good for me that no one would ever know you. You would do nothing for me. That's the thing that I don't think people understand about content is both of the people have to be at least not even equal on the fan side, but like you have to have a fan base for anyone to want to shoot content with you. You can't come in as a nobody and be like, I'm starting a website and I'm just looking to shoot content. I get those emails all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm like, you don't have any subscribers. Why would I go and work for you?
Yeah. I mean,
for you to watch it later. Cool.
Or there's if you want the content exclusively for you, you'll reach out to a guy you want to have sex with, you worked with before, and you'll maybe pay him, or there'll be some sort of exchange that's going on. But it's...
Yeah, it is an exchange system. It's or sometimes a pay system. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely can be a pay system. Like I used to trade with Al for a place to stay, and then I had a mental breakdown. He doesn't stay with me anymore. But he still shoots pictures, and I pay him cash now instead of a place to stay. I will tell you, everyone loves me until they see a mental breakdown, and then they're like, I don't think I can stay with Sylvia anymore.
No, we still love you. We just,
Yeah.
we may
Can't
not
stay at the house.
stay there all the time.
Yeah. Just one bad day, and everyone is not my friend anymore. I just get a little stressed, guys. I get a little stressed.
I'm still here. I don't think I've seen a full mental breakdown.
No, I don't think you've seen a full one yet either. Okay, we're getting really close to the end of the show, and we haven't done the one thing that we have to do on this show. Okay. So the show is obviously a sex education podcast. So one thing that I like to do is a word of the day, and then I will read the word, and then you will guess what you think it means, and then I will tell you the correct answer.
And this is related to sex?
Yeah, it is a sex terminology.
Okay.
This is Silvia Saige's Sexy Funny Raw Word of the Day. Do you know what it is?
Okay, so this is a sex term. Jersey Turnpike. Do you know what a Jersey Turnpike is?
A Jersey Turnpike is a entry in the Urban Dictionary.
You started like you knew.
I actually wrote a dirty sex dictionary where I compiled all of these things.
Oh, maybe you wrote this.
Jersey Turnpike. I feel like it has something to do with shit, right?
Yeah.
Or the butt. Like, okay.
Butt for sure. Butt for sure.
Fuck him in the ass, and then you do something with your dick that involves a car. No. The mouth.
Interesting. Ooh.
Okay, wait.
But not a dick, but ass and mouth. Ass and mouth all are in it. Okay,
Turnpike.
so what it actually is, you guys, is it an absurd sex? There you go. An absurd sex act in which you stick a finger in your partner's ass and stick that finger in your partner's mouth. If you later forget to wash your hands and put that finger anywhere near your face, the mistake is referred to as taking the Newark exit. Hilarious.
What's sad is somebody came up with these, and somebody will try these because.
Well, I mean, I've stuck in my finger in plenty of people's asses, and there's no way I've ever stuck a finger in someone else's and not smelled my finger afterwards. Yeah. I just feel like you have to. If I put my finger anywhere, I'm going to smell it afterwards. It's my finger, and I put it there. Yeah. So if you just run it past your face, and you're like, oh, that is bad. Oh, there's poop on there. And sometimes you do forget. Yeah. Sometimes you're you're done having sex, and then you go to get a drink of water or something. And you're like, oh, that was the poop hand. You're like, I wash that. So you do forget. Yeah. I mean, I get it.
On a side note, can we change the term pegging to Chick-fil-A?
Wow. Okay.
Because
I like it.
Chick fills an ass.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of like going against Chick-fil-A's homophobia.
Yeah, I like it. I'm down.
So let's take that word
that.
over. Kind of the way, do you remember Santorum?
No.
So a sex writer, very famous, Dan Savage. Savage Love was his column. I think he still has it. But Rick Santorum was very anti-gay. And Dan Savage created this term, Santorum, which is the politician's last name.
Okay.
And Santorum is, I can't remember exactly, but basically the jelly, fecal, cummy emission that comes out of an ass.
I like that.
After sex.
Yeah.
And that became the top search term for Santorum. So they took back his name. So when you searched his name, that's
came
what
up
came
the
up.
ass jelly.
Yeah.
I love it. And I think that's called what is it called? Oh my God, there's a term for it. It's butter something.
I know what you're talking about. But not butt butter.
No, it's something like that though.
Yeah.
I just can't think of it. I'm sure I probably had it on this show before, if I'm being honest.
It's not nut butter.
It's not nut butter.
One of the butters.
Okay, before we're almost to wrap, but I apologize to everyone. I was going to have one more guest on this show. Unfortunately, I think she ran into some transportation issues. But hopefully on another later date, we will get Miss September Rain.
And luckily you and I are
back
enough.
in here. We are enough. We are always enough. We are always enough. I want to know, because I love asking this question. What was your biggest surprise about getting into the porn industry? What blew you away the most?
This is so hard.
Because you feel like there's a lot of things, right? Or no, you don't. You
well,
feel like
also it was so long because I kind of slipped in slowly.
Yeah, you did.
As a writer, so I was in Tampa and I was on a little bit of porn sets and I was also interviewing people. I think originally I thought everybody used condoms.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a big one. Then they don't test for herpes because it's just ubiquitous.
Yeah.
I think just being on set and realizing humans can acclimate to almost anything. And I think the experience, having seen so many other people who haven't been on a porn set come on a porn set, they're always like really nervous and like, how is it going to be? And then as soon as they're there, within 5 minutes of the porn scene starting, they're on their phone. And it's just a testament to like, if everybody treats something as normal, then it's normal.
Right.
And I think that was probably my biggest surprise of just how it's not some...
That is what I will say too, because I thought, and I think my girlfriend who got into porn right before I did, she was like kind of my Calvary into me getting into porn. I think it was the same. She kind of thought it was just going to be like a fun free-for-all where everybody's fucking and it's a great time. And that's kind of what I had an idea of it as well. And then you get there and there's, excuse me, I don't even know what that was. Or it was a piece of carrot I had like 2 hours ago. Made its way to my front teeth.
Little Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, made its way up. I will say it was the paperwork for me. You're filling out like packets of paperwork every time you have sex with a different person. And I was like, how is this so like clerical? Like, I don't understand. Like it was.
And I'm the one who puts all of that paperwork together and scans.
It's so much of like an actual job. Like it's more corporate America than and I've worked in corporate America. It's more corporate America than corporate America. There's more testing. It's more regulations. There's more policies and procedures in place. Like
I think we have to be because it is porn.
Yeah. But it's so much more business oriented than anyone would ever think. And that's why my girlfriend also didn't succeed, is because she was not looking to do the business end of it. And I think that's where I succeeded, is because I came from corporate America and I was like, okay, let me crunch some numbers here and how we're actually going to make this work for us. And then you get longevity in it.
And that's why I always love when women come into the industry after having
a real
job. But that I would agree with you 100% because working in this industry, it forced me to start an LLC and then and to do all those things. And so in a way, it is like a business course
100%.
Nobody's really holding your hand through all of this, and you just figure it out, and you get an accountant and you figure out your write-offs, and you figure out just all of these things. So what's great is I think before you start your own business, you're kind of like, I have no idea how I would do that. But having done it in porn where you're your own company, it's less intimidating. And it also makes me less worried about, like, let's say I didn't want to do porn anymore. Like,
I could run a business.
Yeah, I could run a business. It wouldn't be as daunting. I wouldn't have to go through all these hurdles because I've already gone through them.
Exactly.
So I would say that 100% is like it teaches you a lot about business. Because you have to be business savvy. Nobody's holding your hand. If you want to succeed, you got to figure it out.
Because there's nobody going, oh, you're in porn. That's so amazing. How can I help you better your career? Like no one is coming, at least not family-wise.
Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah, nobody's coming to save you. So it's like, figure it out. And it's so competitive that there really isn't anyone like helping you out. Like I will say the one person who showed me any kindness, she's now passed away, but there was one person, Yurizan Beltran. I don't even know if you knew her. She passed away probably 6 years ago. But she was the one person who like told me how to make money in the industry, because before then I was just saying yes to everything, and I was doing low budget stuff, and I was doing stuff for $500 shoots for $500, just like bottom of the barrel stuff. And she was the one who was like, you say no to some things. Like you hold your head high. Let me show you how to make money. And she like kind of like showed me what it was. And I was like, oh, why didn't anyone say this? Like I would have failed out the first year, like so many people do, if I didn't have at least that little bit of advice. So yeah, it is a tough place to succeed. So when you do see a successful porn person, they are a bomb-ass business person.
Or they have a bomb-ass support system behind them.
That's true.
There's some people like Silvia doing it all by herself. And there's other people who have a guy behind the scenes who's helping. Not that they couldn't do it by themselves, but these women are like industries. Like they're their own little brands, and you need a team. So I think it helps if you start out with like a partner who's helping you do all these things. But
Yeah.
of course, that can be trouble if you want to break up later on.
Right.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we did it, Shawn.
We did it.
We did
all
this
by ourselves.
whole
We
show
didn't need a third.
all by ourselves. But now you can tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me online. I'm Shawn Alff pretty much for everything. So it's ShawnAlff. So that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I believe my OnlyFans is that as well. You can also go to Valessa.co, look for Zero to Hero, and they've started releasing some of those scenes on Pornhub.
I love that. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Check out Valessa, you guys. It is the hottest site out there, honestly, and the site that every performer wants to work for. So definitely go and support that. All right. That was it. Thank you to our sponsors, Fleshbot and CyberSocket. And as always, until next time, adios, guys.